Hey everyone, welcome to the video for the Bible readings August 1st through August 7th, and I want to start with two questions today. Are you a child of God, and how can you tell? And what I mean by child of God is one who receives the promises of everlasting life with God. So let's throw out the answer, well, everyone is a child of God. Let's throw that answer out because the Bible speaks strongly towards the reality that not everyone does receive everlasting life with God. And Jesus shoots down the idea of everyone being a child of God. You know, there were Jews who were opposing Jesus and they wanted to kill him. And Jesus told them, your father is not God, rather your father is the devil. And you belong to him. So let's throw out that answer that, well, everyone is a child of God. The Bible just doesn't allow for that answer. So if someone is going to say, yes, I am a child of God, what grounds would they have? Well, I think there's two ways, the illegitimate way and the legitimate way. Here's the problematic grounds. Here's one of them. One, well, I've done enough good things. I've avoided enough bad things to where God has then said, I want you to be my child. Now, God, this illegitimate ground would say, well, God would tell you, you meet the criteria for being my child. And if this is your approach, if this is your grounds, then judgment of your life becomes a matter of a cosmic scale. And there's so much of your good that is placed on one side of the scale, and there's so much of your bad that is placed on another side. And then there's some kind of an equation. Some amount of good minus some amount of bad has to be greater than some threshold. And you don't know quite what that formula is, but there's some threshold that you have to meet as criteria of being chosen by God to be his child. So that's, I would suggest, the wrong way, the wrong grounds of thinking through being a child of God. And here's the other way. Yes, I am a child of God, but only because that relationship is a gift from God, and I received that gift by having faith in God's goodness and giving me a Savior, Jesus Christ, and not at all by my own goodness. And it's through that second way of thinking about being a child of God that I want to be our lens this week as we read through our scriptures. So in the Old Testament, we're going to read the story of Abraham and the faith that he put in God and God's goodness towards him. And then we're going to read about a recipient of God's grace that may be surprising to us, and that is his name is Naaman, and he's the leader of the army of Aram, which was a national enemy of Israel. And Naaman receives peace with God. And as you read through his story, I want you to think about what he thought he needed to do to secure God's peace and God's blessings, and what actually he was asked to do. So think about that as you read the story of Naaman. And in the New Testament, we're going to read some of Paul's writings on how God adopts us as his children, as a gift of his grace through our faith. And as you go through this week, I want you to think about having this as your identity. You are God's real, legitimate, legal child through faith in Jesus. And think, what does that mean for you as you go through your week? Happy reading. Thanks for participating, and we'll see you on Sunday.